What's going on, ladies and gentlemen and ladies? The Iranian ceasefire was violated. We're going to talk about that and what Donald Trump had to say. 77-year-old man randomly attacked in Seattle. You're going to be surprised. No, you're not. I'm lying to you. You're not going to be surprised at what the mayor said. The Walgreens are shutting down in the black neighborhood. You'll wonder why. And also, the nut job that was running against John Fetterman decided to threaten his life, and Donald Trump got arrested. We got to talk about that. The Virus on a cruise ship. That's why I never go on cruises. That's another situation. And then Megyn Kelly loses her mind, her brain, and her morals at the same time, trying to defend Tucker Carlson. But before we get to any of that, the judge that was, I wanted to say a cuss word, but I'm not, that apologized to Cole Allen, the man that tried to kill Donald Trump, should be ashamed of himself. And I'm going to blast him on this show. Welcome to the Office Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Shout out to the members. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for joining the membership program. Our membership program is going up month over month, and I'm very appreciative of your support. And shout out to all the rookies. We're getting so many rookies that are coming in. And just so you know, as a rookie, you get access to Post-Show Clarity after or on Fridays, which is our show that we do after the show, our little after party that we do. And then also, hey, if you disagree with me, you see something on the show, you want to have a comment, leave me a voicemail at 480-788-1858. That's 480-788-1858. I want to hear from you. And if you got a good positive comment, I'd love to hear from you as well. People are looking at this hat. I normally don't wear hats because I can't get the lighting right, but we got the lighting right, and now I can wear my hat. Get you one of these hats. It says blessed. We got them in different colors on tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com. All right, let's get to the story. Cole Allen. This is one of the stupidest things I've seen all day long. All the stories I've seen, or all the stories that we're going to do today, this is the stupidest one. I don't understand how a person can sit in the bench, be a judge, and be this biased and stupid. Somebody help me understand this. Fox News talks about it. Cole Allen gets an apology from the judge. What an idiot. Wrote a clip.
Allen back in court today, and the judge says he's not being treated well. Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel is in Washington with this story tonight. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening. A federal judge apologized to the man accused of attempting to assassinate President Trump today for the way he's been treated by jail officials since his arrest. Magistrate Judge Zia Faroqui grilled a Washington, D.C. jail official over Cole Allen being held on suicide watch in a padded, lighted cell with no ability to make phone calls, read books, without access to religious materials or recreation time.
Time out. What the do you think this is? Is this a playground? Are you at Disneyland? How do you tried to kill you shot somebody. He shot a Secret Service agent. And you tried to kill the president. And we supposed to give you cakes and throw a party for you, put balloons in there, you get to watch TV. Where are we at as a nation where you can try to kill the president and we kiss your butt? Finish the clip.
We handled some of the January 6 cases and said about Allen, quote, he's being treated differently than anyone I've ever observed. In addition to attempted assassination, Allen also faces 2 firearms-related charges. He faces up to life in prison if convicted. The judge today noted Allen has no criminal history, stressing that he is innocent until proven guilty and therefore should be treated fairly. The evidence released by the government so far has been pretty damning, including this video of Allen running through a security checkpoint before the Correspondents' Dinner shooting. Investigators say this video shows Allen casing the hotel a day before the April 25th attack, walking hallways and checking out the hotel gym. While in isolation, Allen has been going through a psychiatric evaluation to see if he is suicidal. A Justice Department prosecutor said Allen told FBI agents he didn't expect to survive the assassination attempt And in an email, Allen said he wanted to extend his appreciation to many people since he will not likely be able to talk to them again. The judge told Allen he would get him the Bible that he's been requesting. He acknowledged it is a high-profile case, but claims Allen should not be in solitary confinement. The judge is demanding an update from the Department of Corrections by 9 a.m. tomorrow if Allen will be moved to a more comfortable cell, perhaps with a window. He is no longer on suicide watch.
Hey, put him in the cell with Tony. Tony will make him feel real good and comfortable. Like, what are we doing here? The guy's a nut. He cased the place. He shot somebody. And if there wasn't 300 Secret Service agents there, half of them running for their lives, he would, I don't call it, they weren't Secret Service agents. I'm talking about the ones that was on that wall, them women. They ran it. They ran this way. I almost want to go back and look at that clip. They were running this way. Everybody else running this way with a gun. What are y'all doing? I'm not on that. Play the clip. Put the clip back. Look at the women on the wall there. I'm not just saying women, okay, but they just so happen to be women. Look at the three ladies against the wall. Go back and play the clip.
The evidence released by the government so far has been pretty damning, including this video of Allen running through a security checkpoint.
Where y'all going? Where y'all going? The fight is that way. Y'all running for cover? What are we? God dang. Anyway, that's stupid. And then they want him to be in a cell with a window in it. So, and give him the Bible that he wants. What are we saying? He tried to kill the president. He shouldn't even be eating until you get to trial. Don't tell me he's innocent and to prove him guilty. Yeah, that may be true, but I did see that video right there where he shot somebody in the video. So you can pretty much guarantee that he should at least be in jail, not getting special treatment. I'm telling y'all this, and I put my life on it. January 6ers didn't get that same level of treatment, did they? They were innocent and to prove it guilty, they weren't there. They were in solitary confinement for 2 years without a trial. What are y'all saying? The same judge. It's the same stuff. Let's move on to the ceasefire story. I thought we had one more clip, but I just perplexed at what I just saw. Anyway, make sure you guys go and shop at, I forgot what I was going to say. I think we already mentioned Tatum Store at the beginning. Do we have a flyer for Tatum Store or no? All right, give me Synergy. Before we get to the next story, I want to make sure you guys go and shop at Synergy. If you want an energy drink that's natural, that don't give you a crash, this is where you're at. And then if you want something to help you go to sleep, even if you want both or one or the other, I prefer you do a cycle, which means that you have good, clean energy during the day, great, sustainable energy when you sleep. You wake up with energy. It's the perfect combination. SynergyLife.com. Let's get to the story. So the Iranian ceasefire, the reason that I'm making this video is because I think we need to be updated on what's going on. My clear perspective on this is right now, as it stands, it could change depending on how much we prolong in this war, that I believe Donald Trump is doing the right thing. I believe the officials, when they say that we are in control, obviously because they're not making a big dent in our military capacity of military equipment and military personnel. And so I believe them. I stick with my country. I stick with my president in the fight as long as they're being consistent, and I'm watching the consistency of what they're saying play out in real life. At what point that they're not consistent no more and we ended up in a never-ending war like we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, then maybe my position will change. Right now, I support the president. Here is an update on what Iran is doing, what they have done, and what the military capabilities of America is, and what we're doing about it moving forward. Roll the clip.
Hey, good morning to you, Ainsley. Well, the question this morning for both Secretary Hegseth and the president is this ceasefire still in place? We don't know that yet from the White House. The president was asked about it last night. He didn't answer. A lot of folks are saying different things, but we don't know yet what the White House view on this is. And that's important because U.S. officials told our Jen Griffin that we are closer to the resumption of major combat operations after what took place this week. Iran, as you know, Ainsley, launched a missile and drone attack attack on the UAE, fired at ships as well this week in the Strait as Operation Freedom got underway. That's to help ships transit the Strait of Hormuz. The Pentagon says 2 commercial vessels have made it through safely, while the president says at least 6 Iranian small boats were shot down for trying to interfere with what we're doing out there. And he warns Iran that it will be blown off the face of the earth. That is a quote from the president if they attack any U.S. vessels carrying out Project Freedom. Now, last night, CENTCOM shared this picture of the U.S. Air Force F-16 fighter aircraft that are among more than 100 land and sea-based aircraft supporting this project, as well as the U.S. Navy FA-18 Super Hornets that launched from USS Abraham Lincoln. Of course, Lincoln is one of the 2 aircraft carriers that are enforcing the blockade that the U.S. has on Iranian ports. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told Fox that the U.S. has absolute control of the Strait right now.
The Iranians do not have control of the Strait. We have absolute control of the Strait. We have blockaded the ships going into or out of Iranian ports. Their economy is in free fall, and everyone says they have the high tolerance for pain. Well, their soldiers will not have a high tolerance for not getting paid.
So, Ainsley, we will see the president in just a little bit here. He's got a signing in the Oval Office today. We'll see if he takes any questions about Iran, tells us if he feels like the ceasefire is still in place. In the meantime, the Secretary of War will see first at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon, and Secretary Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, will actually brief here at the White House later this afternoon.
Now, let me put this in perspective. This is what I was observing while I was watching that, is that I know that people are upset about military spending and different things like this. I think that the war is necessary. If we do not take action now, we'll be taking action when it's on our turf. I don't know why people don't get it. I think you should think this through, so you shouldn't have to live in turmoil thinking that President Trump is doing something wrong. These lunatic, crazy nut jobs that believe in a false God and they want to kill all of us. They promote terrorism all around the world. These same people cannot get a nuclear weapon. If they get a nuclear weapon, we're going to be fighting them nuclear in a nuclear capacity. They cannot kill or attempt to take over Israel. It's not happening. As an American, is that our number one priority? No, but it is a priority, especially as a Christian. These Muslim nut jobs are not going to take over the Holy Land. Like, I don't know how Christians don't feel that strongly about that. Let me just say this and I'll move on. You know the silly ones that don't read their Bible, that say we're the new Israel. Okay, just say we are the new Israel. Well, then the land belongs to us. That means that as Americans, we have a vested interest in preserving the land. The land belongs to us if we're the new Israel. Well, so therefore, we should be trying to protect Israel, the land, against these terrorists that go tear it down and make Jesus null and void. I don't get why people don't understand this to that degree. Anyway, Donald Trump responded at the Oval Office or at the Resolute desk. Roll the clip.
They fired at U.S. ships several times in the last 24 hours. What do they need to do to violate the ceasefire?
Well, you'll find out, because I'll let you know. They know what to do, and they know what to do. They know what not to do, more importantly, actually. And, they fired them in little boats with pea shooters. The pea shooter is a little boat with why? Because they don't have any boats anymore. Their Navy is comprised of, they call them little boats.
Fast
right?
boats or little boats.
And they're fast, yeah. They're so fast that they had 8 of them, and they're all gone. And they're fast, but they're not fast like a missile. A missile is slightly faster. They're all gone.
I don't know why. I love when Donald Trump, hopefully he's telling the truth. I believe he's telling the truth. I love when I hear him talk like that. Screw these people, man. We're going to do what we got to do. I trust our country more than I trust their country. All right, let's get to, I want to get to General Dan Kane mentioning this, because you get a different perspective. It's not just the president. It's not just Bassett. It's actually a general who's articulating very clearly the Strait of Hormuz and different things like that. And I think it's very important for you to hear this. Roll the clip.
Gulf of Oman.
and up in the Arabian Gulf. Since the ceasefire was announced, Iran has fired at commercial vessels 9 times and seized 2 container ships. And they've attacked U.S. forces more than 10 times, all below the threshold of restarting major combat operations at this point. You can also see the group of tankers and cargo vessels in the U.S. blockade line, as I mentioned. As a result of Iran's indiscriminate attacks across the region, there are currently 22,500 mariners embarked on more than 1,550 commercial vessels trapped in the Arabian Gulf, unable to transit. In addition to shipping, Iran has continued to deliberately attack its neighbors. Just yesterday, Iran attacked Oman once and the UAE 3 times, including an attack on Fujairah oil terminal, which was successfully defeated. They also launched cruise missiles, drones, small boats at U.S. forces defending commercial shipping in the Straits, and United States Navy MH-60 helicopters and Army AH-64 Apache helicopters successfully defeated those threats. Thus far, today is quieter. Let me describe this defensive operation just a few clicks down for you. As the Secretary said, Project Freedom is designed to protect commercial shipping and help restore the flow of commerce through the Strait and sustain freedom of navigation.
Now, I'll add this before we get to the next story, but I'm sure the people that been training all year long, waiting their whole life to get some action, I would argue that I don't say they're having a good time as if they're not, not aware of the threat. But I bet if you're flying a fighter flight, or whatever you call it, you're a fighter pilot and you're flying one of those jets and you swooping through and you get the really bomb stuff for real, you're in the helicopter doing these missions and tearing up their stuff, I think this is what they signed up for. I don't think they complaining. Especially because they understand the rules of engagement and they understand that we're doing this to be sustainable, or for our country to be sustainable through our efforts. And I bet they bombing them and having a blast, okay, for lack of better terms. All right, let's get to the next story. Kamala Nepad Harris, the woman that went horizontal to go vertical in her career, she decided to endorse Karen Bass, which was a bad idea. Let me show you the endorsement of Karen Bass by that idiotic ignoramus. And then we're going to show you this guy, Spencer Pratt, that has been putting on a clinic when it comes to advertising for his campaign. Like, the dude got the craziest videos I've ever seen. They are the coolest videos I've ever seen out of any candidate ever running for office. They're even cooler than Trump. Let's play the endorsement from Kamala Nepad Harris, and then we're going to get to Mr. Spencer Pratt, which is incredible. Roll the clip.
Karen Bass did pick up a big endorsement today. She got the endorsement of former vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris, who said that Bass has done a good job stamping out crime and homelessness.
Yeah, obviously Kamala Harris loves Karen Bass because of Karen Bass letting the Pacific Palisades and Malibu burn down. Kamala Harris was able to get a $2 million discount on her new house in Malibu that if Karen Bass hadn't let burn most of Malibu and most of Palisades to the ground, she would have never been able to get that $2 million discount. So it really does not matter who endorses Bass, because the people that endorse me are the women and mothers that want to feel safe again in the streets of LA. And my 2 opponents will not enforce any laws, and that's why women and mothers and kids do not feel safe in the streets of LA. So she can have all the political endorsements she wants. She can go do all the photo ops she wants. She'll take any endorsement to keep her corrupt politician career going here.
100%. And Miss Word Salad didn't win her election. What makes you think that she weighs that much? Kamala Harris is a nut, and she has no value in political value. She has zero. She's a hypocrite. She claims she black. She ain't dating a black man. And I'm just saying, she talking about blackity black, and she want to use that, then you ain't dating a black man. You got a white man under your armpit. And then when you had a chance to pick your VP, you picked the corniest white man on planet Earth. You could have picked a brother. So don't be trying to use black people to pump you up, and I'm an AKA when you ain't invested in black people in nothing that you do. your policies, nor your personal life at all. All right, let's get to Mr. Pratt. He had more to say about the collusion that he believes is happening with two of the candidates, and I think this clears the noonday sun. Roll the clip.
I just wanted to share how happy I am to be out here with Mayor Karen Bass, and I couldn't be prouder to work alongside her.
Well, let me just say, Nithya, we've been working together for a year, so we have to continue this work together, and we can't stop now. So you got that ballot, fill it out.
Let me give you some inside baseball. Guys, Nithya Raman is conspiring with Karen Bass. Remember when Nithya shocked everyone and jumped into the mayor's race at the last minute, inexplicably just days after endorsing Karen? Why would she do that? Why isn't Karen upset? Why do they never attack each other? Because Karen saw that I was a serious threat and she made Nithya jump in the race to block me out from the number 2 slot. But now I've shot past Bass, so now you have Karen Bass operatives trying to trick you and steal back votes by telling you that they actually, if you want Spencer to win, you have to vote for Bass.
A vote for Bass on June 2nd puts Bass in the runoff against Pratt, and then we can push for Spencer Pratt to win the matchup and become mayor. So we have to vote Karen Bass in June, keep Raman out of the top 2, and then we all push for a Pratt win in November.
Karen Bass burned my community down, and I'm still voting for her because at least she believes in private housing. If I can back Karen Bass, you can too. But right now, we all need to push Karen Bass forward.
Wrong. I need every vote, every step of the way. We are dealing with a cartel here. It's going to be an uphill battle the whole way. They're losing the messaging war. Nothing is working. So they think this fake Machiavellian shtick will work on you. You're being played. Nithya never goes after Bass. She always pushes these impotent, nebulous criticisms like, we're failing in the city.
The city can't keep streetlights on. Fiscally irresponsible decision making. The city has cut capacity.
Who criticizes themselves in a campaign, not their opponent. Are you guys paying attention? She's taking advantage of all her DSA supporters and using them. Say what you want about Reverend Ray Wong. We disagree on a lot, but I respect her because she's at least authentic. She's the only real true believer among my opponents and actually lives by the DSA mantra. Nithya is just a crony like Karen. She will abandon all her supporters and drop out of the race or just sandbag it after doing all the blocking and tackling for Bass in the primary. She even recently told CBS that she's going to retire from politics after this campaign.
Raman says this will be her last political campaign.
You are being scammed. Vote Pratt in the primary. Tell your friends vote Pratt today. Tell your parents to vote Pratt today. Tell your barista to vote Pratt today. Tell everyone you see to vote Pratt today. No political games, no tricks, no strategies. Just vote for who you want to win.
If I lived in LA, I'll vote for him 3 times. Hey, they letting all these other people vote illegally 3 times. I vote for him 3 times in a row. He get 3 votes from me personally. I'm joking. I would never illegally vote, but he would have my endorsement. Now for the grand finale. This is the coolest campaign video I have ever seen. AI is out of control. Put your seatbelt on. Put your, I was going to say, put your Cialis down. Cialis. Anyway, put your seatbelt on. Watch this video. Roll it.
Please, I'm begging you. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free pussy.
Let's move the drug addicts closer.
Bass already solved crime. I endorse her.
Next!
Please, I just want to rebuild my home. It's been over a year.
Mom, look!
This is a machine. If we want to burn this town to the ground, pull through that!
I feel so close.
You can do it, Spencer!
Bro got cameos and everything. unless you're completely stupid, how do you live in LA and not vote for Pratt? I'm just wondering. Like my thing is this. A lot of people that, first of all, they flee in LA. A lot of people that live in LA, they love the weather. They love what LA used to be. But the crime is out of control. Homeless people are pooping in front of their businesses and stuff. It's not safe. I've been to LA a few times, and it's like, who could live here, dude? And it's beautiful, though, right? LA has so much potential. California itself is probably the most beautiful state in the union, next to Arizona. Why y'all let it get messed up like this? It don't even have to be that way. It's crazy to me. Go vote for Spencer Pratt. That's all I'd say. All right, let's get to the Fetterman assassination or attempt of assassination. I would say Fetterman assassination. I hope he don't get assassinated. That brother right there doing the Lord's work by being reasonable. Does John Fetterman agree with everything we believe? No, he probably doesn't. But at least he's got common sense. And some nut job that's a Democrat decided to make an assassination attempt on his life. Now, let me put this in perspective. For all the naysayers that are out there claiming, it's rhetoric on both sides. Both parties are saying stuff. They are killers. Now, we got the capacity to do way more damage than they do, but we're sane. But these people want to kill you. These people are doing assassination attempts. They're so stupid that they're willing to leave voicemails on people's voicemail talking about they want to kill Trump. I had a person come, send us an email talking about he won't kill me and all this other stuff, and then he put Trump in it. Like, what are you thinking, bro? You come to me, you're dead. You might as well put your will together. I'm killing you. That's all it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be no talking. It ain't gonna be no nothing. You're dead. So I don't know why you won't play with me, but they dumb enough to send an email and talking about they won't kill the president. I'm telling you, y'all, you don't see that from the right. As radical and as stupid as some people are on the right, on the far right side, nobody's talking about assassinating Joe Biden and none of that stuff. So the rhetoric is not the same. Roll the clip.
It was here at this home along Biddle Avenue in Wilkinsburg where FBI agents spent hours investigating after officials tell us their agents and the Secret Service took Raymond Chandler III, a candidate for Senate against John Fetterman in 2028, into federal custody. You are watching Only on 4 video captured outside Raymond Chandler III's home. Police tape blocking the street as federal agents removed evidence. The just unsealed court documents reveal what federal officials say were plans to kill the president, a member of Congress, and his daughter. Federal agents write that these plans were left as voicemails. Court papers say in one message, Chandler gave a congressman who is not identified a violent scenario, saying they pull you out of your house and they slit your throat, and they slit your daughter's throat, and they slit everyone's throat. That, you know, sir, that is the future. In another, agents write that Chandler described what he wanted the lawmaker to do, saying, "Sir, I'm calling this evening because what I want you to do is I want you to take a firearm. I want you to put it in your hand. I want you to walk into the Oval Office. I want you to put that firearm to the president's head, and I want you to pull the trigger, and I want you to kill him." Raymond Chandler III, whose flyers for Senate are still taped to poles here in his Wilkinsburg neighborhood, is now in federal custody, charged with threatening to kill the president and a member of Congress. Covering Allegheny County from Wilkinsburg, Marcy Cipriani, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
These people are nutty. And you know, on this flyer, he got a trans flag, a Black Lives Matter flag. It's the same mental illness, bro. They all are crazy to me. Here's some more content from one of his stupid little podcasts or whatever he was doing. And you notice in the background, he got a sign that says, "Be kind." These people are the craziest people ever. Roll the clip.
If this is enough for me, and by all measures, this is more than what so many have, why is $100 million not enough for somebody else? Why do they need billions? Why do they keep hoarding it all for themselves? Aren't they happy? While many people spend their time thinking, screw you, I got mine, I'm sitting here thinking, I got mine, why the hell doesn't everyone else have theirs? Well, I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to get you back your share. I'm going to hunt it down, and I'm going to bring it back to you like a bloodhound fetches a pheasant. I shall lay it at your feet. Because where I'm from hasn't changed. In my youth, while going through my struggle, I had the great honor of being adopted by a black family, to be loved by a black mother, and to grow in friendship with a man I love like a brother. I love you, Joe, Twa, Choicey, Aunt Rosie, and Miss Linda. I do this for you. I do this for my birth family, for Ashley and for Ian, for my parents. I do this for you. For my godson and my god-grandbabies, I do this for you. For Johnny, Erika, and Ariana, I do this for you. And for every single family in Pennsylvania who is struggling, who has been left behind, I am coming back for you. I do this for you. My name is Raymond. I am a Quaker, a Christian, a Buddhist, and a follower of the way of Hermes.
Hold on,
and
bro.
I come
Hold on. Time out. Did this fool say he was a Christian and a Buddhist? Am I tripping? Or you know what I learned as I get older? These are grown babies. Like, these people grow up, but they don't mentally grow up. This is a stupid, like I'm a 4-year-old talking to another 4-year-old, and we don't have the mental capacity to put two and two together in a robust way like an adult would. So I'm just talking in circles back and forth with a 4-year-old. And that dude is a grown body with a 4-year-old brain. I'm a Christian. I'm a Buddhist. Quit being stupid. Y'all, fake and stupid. All right, let's move on to the next story. I want to talk about, and then we're gonna move on. I want to talk about the. Hey, we got a whole bunch of stories to talk about. I want to jump to 2 stories. I want to go Megyn Kelly, and then we're going to jump and we're going to talk about the Walgreens thing. No, we're going to do Megyn Kelly. We're going to talk about Megyn Kelly. And I want to touch on the Seattle attack and then the Walgreens. We'll do those 3. Is that good with y'all? The audience, we're going to do 3 more stories. Megyn Kelly just made me, it's very short. This is very sweet. I feel compelled to reveal to you what these people represent. Now, I don't need to bash Megyn Kelly. I'm not trying to do none of that stuff, man. I'm really trying to get out of the business of mocking people and doing that, when it comes up. I just want you to know the truth about where these people stand. I work so hard to keep a good reputation and make sure that I'm acting with integrity, being genuine and authentic. I apologize when I do something wrong. If I change my thoughts, I have a right to articulate to you why I changed. These people are not right. They're not just coming out giving an opinion. Y'all saw Tucker Carlson take a spiel on that interview. Just the 3 clips that's gone viral where he's accusing people of stuff, and he go, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I don't even know. I don't think I even know what that is. The lady quotes his show from like 2 weeks ago. You don't remember what you said 2 weeks ago? Insinuating that the president could be the Antichrist. We're not stupid. We know you form a statement in the form of a question. You present a statement in the form of a question. Could he be the Antichrist? If I thought that Donald Trump could, if people were saying he could be the Antichrist, or if I thought, I will remember last week, she quoted it to him and he said, those words have never come out of my mouth. And Megyn Kelly, pull up on the screen. I used to love Megyn Kelly. Then I didn't like her, and then I liked her when she went independent. I followed her. I saw her at a Turning Point event, took a picture with her. I thought she was so bold, so courageous. What has happened? Is it money? Is it jockeying for an audience? Is it about clicks? What would make you get on a show and say, Tucker Carlson killed it? Man, if Erica Kirk, and I love Erica Kirk, if Erica Kirk got on a podcast and she just bombed it, you know what I'm gonna do? I ain't seen nothing. I'm not finna get on that lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna do like that. I ain't see it unless it's egregious and it's criminal. But I got your back. Hey, I hold you down like a quarter pound. I didn't see it. I'm going to go on to the next topic. I'm not finna get out here and lie, right? If one of my friends, somebody I support, they had a bad moment, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to live with it. If you wrong, you wrong. But I ain't finna get on live for you, all right? Come on, play Megyn Kelly.
So Tucker sat down with Lulu, and Tucker handled himself, of course, very, very well.
JD has been subject to, this is well known, but I'll just confirm it, nonstop treachery from people on the neoconservative side.
Who do you mean specifically?
You know, I don't know is the real answer. I don't know.
Was very deaf.
You know, you've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, you said, could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist?
Could this be the Antichrist?
I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips.
And any sort of would-be trap she was laying, he saw from a mile away.
The future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
You said in our previous interview, the future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
I'm amazed that you have a tape of me saying that, and I just want to disavow it.
You're accusing people of treachery, so I'm wondering.
Well, I know there's been a lot of treachery, for sure, and I know they were so mad about JD getting that job. I mean...
Who's they?
It's hard to really know.
This is me looking skeptical.
Yeah, well, no, but it's me being honest. Like, I don't really know.
And Tucker handled himself, of course, very, very well.
I don't know where that comes from. I'm amazed that you have a tape of me saying that. I'll just confirm it. It's like, I don't really know.
That's a little highlight tape. I just had to throw that together. Megyn, what are you talking about? Like, you ain't got it. You make yourself look foolish. Just don't talk about it. Act like you didn't see the interview. Because he did not perform well. I watched an hour of it. My wife watched the whole thing. A couple other people I know watched the whole thing. It's the craziest interview I've ever seen anybody do. I thought Tucker was a human being with a functional brain. When you listen to him talk, you're like, well, I don't know. Benjamin Netanyahu's evil. I'm evil. Everybody's evil. What is evil? You're like, what are you saying, man? You're a grown man. What you talking about? Everybody evil. Or what is evil? You know what evil is. On the Antichrist, you know? I don't know what the Antichrist is. I'm not sure. Could it be 3 Antichrists? Read the Bible. Pull up in Revelations what the Antichrist. Tell me a scripture, Tucker Carlson. It ain't for you to guess. This fool got I guess religion. I guess what Jesus, it's just in the Bible. Read the Bible. You ain't got to guess what Christ said about this and that. I don't know where they get it from. The Bible. And then Nick Fuentes, he had something to say. I just want to play this because he is the nut, and everybody keep acting like he not a nut. Not everybody. Tucker act like he not a nut job. Here's him kind of responding to Tucker Carlson's interview pertaining to him. And then I'm going to show you this last clip that make Tucker Carlson look even stupider, because Tucker Carlson said in that interview in the New York Times that this fool is not relevant and not a threat, and his language is... What he made a comment about this. I'm going to show you how bad he really is. Roll the clip.
Dude, my war against Israel is the only thing keeping me going at this point. Immigration, who gives a shit? Country's over. It's over. Have you been outside? Do you ever actually even leave the studio? Do you know what it's like out there? We're already a non-white country. Get a grip. Get real, bro. We already live in Mogadishu. We already live in Islamabad. Have you been outside? LA, Chicago, New York. We live in hell. And that's just it's what it is.
We live in inward hell. And you telling me this, Ted Cruz is worse than him. Because Ted Cruz support Israel. That's it. We order for the death of shut the front door. All right, we get to our last story. Walgreens. No, we got 2 more. I told y'all 2 more. Let's get it. Let's do 2 more. Let's do the Walgreens, and then we're going to finish with the Seattle attack. So this story about Walgreens, before we get there, I want to tell you guys about Verdict Bourbon, the best bourbon on the market. Great for the price. We should have charged $90 retail for this, but I wanted to get in the market. I wanted to give you the best bang for your buck. I want you to be blown away. And therefore, our next iterations, you will know what the value is. Go to verdictbourbon.com. You got to be 21 and older to even get to the website. And then also, you must drink responsibly. I don't want y'all drinking Verdict and going doing crazy stuff. Have a good time. Be moderate about your drinking. You know, you could do that. Don't get drunk and be a fool because you're going to go to jail. And the Verdict will support you going to jail if you're getting drunk and acting a fool. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, because we don't support drinking and driving and none of that old crazy stuff. We will get you. We will advocate. We will advocate against drunk drivers. That's how we roll. Anyway, let's get to this Walgreens shutdown because this is the ancillary effect of people not owning up to valuing their own community. Black people, can you listen to me clearly? When you raise your young men, quit raising them to be victims. Quit raising them to not have responsibility. Raise them not with external locus of control, but internal locus of control. That means that what you do is a direct reflection of what you will become. Quit looking at the white man to save you. Quit looking at the white man as your problem. Quit living 200-300 years ago. Live for the right now and prepare for your future with God first, and y'all won't have these problems. What happened is you're so busy blaming the white man that you're destroying your own community. Here is an example. Roll the film.
Enduring 2 kidney transplants and diabetes, Terrell Gardner takes about 14 pills a day to keep his immune system suppressed. The 69-year-old says the closure of his closest Walgreens will force him to drive several miles away to get his medicine.
Now I've got to find another way. I've got to possibly go west to Cicero. And I'm living all the way here on the east side.
Patricia Shell doesn't have an option for another Walgreens. She uses an electric wheelchair for her once-a-month pickup for prescriptions. Shell does not drive.
This is convenient for me. I just live down the street here in the senior building. And I don't know what we're going to do. I guess I have to go strictly with my mail order people.
The Walgreens location at 86th and South Cottage Grove is the latest to announce closure. An East 71st location is slated to close May 19th. 4 other South Side locations have shut down in the past year.
I got to go to 87 and Stony Island. I mean, how do you close down all the Walgreens in this community?
Chanting "Do right by us," 3 Southside aldermen led the way inside the store to protest the June 4th closing of the Chatham location today. Alderman Will Hall is calling on the Chicago area-based company to at least keep the pharmacy open. Otherwise, he says, the South Side faces a pharmaceutical drought.
Walgreens can do a sustainable innovation redesign. They did it on 12th and State Street. We're asking for the same effort on 86th Street.
Hall says he has not received a response from Walgreens. In a written statement, the
Alderman, get your nappy head over here real quick. Let me talk to you for a minute. Instead of you crying about Walgreens, how about you tell these young nut jobs to not go into Walgreens and steal? They're not closing it because they don't like black people. They're closing because y'all know how to act. Violence and thuggery is why they're closing these stores. That's what you should be focused on. I don't understand how we don't get it. You keep blaming everybody else. You should be sitting there protesting the thuggery that's going on. And to be honest, let's put it together. Like, why don't y'all come together to buy a Walgreens? I'm pretty sure you can own a franchise Walgreens. And when Walgreens closed down, why don't y'all start your own pharmacy? Everybody in the community get together. There's probably hundreds of thousands of people living in these areas. Come together, put your money together, and have your own grocery store pharmacy. Y'all want the white man to do everything. Here you go. Roll it.
Company says over time, the location has experienced, quote, significantly higher levels of theft and violent incidents. It goes on to say, quote, despite a range of efforts, including previous operating adjustments, these ongoing safety challenges have made it increasingly difficult to maintain a secure environment for our team members and customers. Renice Mays manages Lake Club Boutique, a 38-year-old woman's apparel store across the street. And while there have been no problems at her store, May says she sees police at the Walgreens often.
Walgreens is a different world. We see the people come out with things. Even if you go over there, you can see people just taking things out the store.
Exactly. Like, when is the accountability going to kick in? That's all I'm saying. That's the only reason I made this video. I just want to keep it in the forefront. Quit blaming everybody else and start focusing on your community. This is why wealthy black people, or black people that get a level of money to move, they move out. And then you mad when the white people move out and they don't want nothing to do with you. I really want to see a day, which I think it's too late, to be honest. I think that it's just too late. But it's always a chance. I would like to see black people come together and start doing the right thing if you believe that you deserve the right thing. The boutique lady right there, how about some of y'all come together and buy that property? And it's not that hard, to be honest. Y'all can get a franchise and put it there, but the problem is the young thugs gonna come and steal from you, even as black people. Get it together. All right, let's get to the next topic. The Seattle attack, and I think that will be it for today, and we're going to get the post-show clarity here soon. So I wanted to show this. Here's the reason why I'm showing this video. I almost feel like I need to describe every video and show you why I'm doing it, because it's not just random. It's because violence is going on in these cities that were once prosperous, once were safe to inhabit, and these liberal leftist policies are putting innocent people's lives in danger. And the mayor that y'all just elected, that's woke and all this other stuff, here's what she had to say after a 77-year-old man gets bludgeoned by some young thugs and robbed. And the only reason we were able to see that they got robbed because it was on CCTV. And listen what the mayor, after we watched the incident, what she has to say and her priorities when it comes to CCTV. Roll the clip. So it doesn't have sound, but you can watch it and I'll narrate it. So you got two thuggeries walking down the street with no value. They don't believe in themselves. They hate the community. I think they're illegal immigrants, or they're immigrants in general. They see an older man, and what do? Sneak him, boom, hit him, knock him to the ground. He pulled the one guy off, and then he goes back and robs him. And what do? There's nobody there to help. There's nobody there to intervene. There's no police officers. And what do? They walk down the street like nothing ever happened. What is this? This is the kind of environment that happens more often than not when you are not holding these thugs accountable. And go to the mayor. See what the mayor has to say about in light of this. Roll it.
This is legislation that will expand CCTV cameras that could potentially be taken control of by the Trump administration. And this is legislation that was opposed by immigrants' rights groups, by civil liberties groups, and by the member of color caucus in the legislature.
All dumb people.
And I'll quote from their letter. This technology, and technology similar to it, has recently been in the news for its failure to be meaningfully and consistently secured, leading to breaches that could result in sensitive data being shared by ICE and putting our immigrant and refugee communities at risk.
That's what she's worried about, y'all. The caucus of stupidity. And she worried about the illegal immigrants. She's not worried about you or your family or safety or the economic success of these cities. She's worried about immigrants getting caught on camera, doing this stuff. I don't know how these people sleep at night. So the suspect is in custody. 77-year-old victim, we don't know his name. The violence appeared to be unprovoked. Victim was beaten, left bleeding on the side of the road. Thank God it was captured on surveillance footage. And I think that the injuries to the victim was a broken knee, broken arm, lacerations on his, I think deep lacerations or facial lacerations. So injuries to his face, hospitalized for an entire week. And this immigrant who's Osman, which you could tell his name is Ahmed Osman, which you could tell that dude is an illegal immigrant or immigrant in and of itself. He was detained near McDonald's when they found him. He was charged with second-degree assault. Arraignment is scheduled for May the 13th. Bench warrant issued for failing to appear in court. He go and bludgeons this man, put him in the hospital for a week, and they let him out, and he didn't come to court. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. I do believe in forgiveness. But I do believe in holding people accountable for the things that they do. And I know that we want to live in a society where we're not as punitive, but you got to hold people responsible. People that go and knock a 70-year-old man in the head, nearly killing him with no remorse, unprovoked, that person needs to remain in jail. You let him out, and then he can do more damage because you want to be compassionate. There are people that you should be compassionate with, right? Meaning that somebody gets into a brawl, mutual combat, and they hurt somebody seriously, that person is not a threat. It wasn't unprovoked. You know, a person making a mistake is different than people that are targeting individuals. That's the difference. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give another shout out to the members. Shout out to the members. We're getting ready to go to Post Show Clarity, where we talk about issues and kind of wind down. Just something that's not as friction-based as some of these political conversations. So I want y'all to join us. If you're not a member, make sure you go to the member tab and put next to the subscription tab, there's a button that says join. Hit join, find the tier that works well for you, and give it a try. God bless you. God bless America. Thank y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all hold the phone.
This is legislation.